welcome to SIMC Voices, a special initiative by the journalism students of SIMC Pune. I am Apurva Adhikari.
And I am just Noor Kaur,
your news hosts, and let's get started with the stories. Our first story is on the delay of Phase 1 of the Maha Metro project, which was supposed to be ready by the end of 2022. Watch this report by Sonali and Ria Arora.
COVID-imposed limitations and a lengthy process of selecting a new contractor has caused a major delay in the Pune Maha Metro project. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the two routes of Pune Metro back in March 2022. The construction of the first phase of Pune Metro, which was supposed to be done by December 2022, has now been further delayed.
The total cost of the Pune Metro project is over 11,400 crore rupees. Pune Metro Phase 1 has two corridors, one from Vanas to Ramwadi, an elevated line, and the other from Pimpri Chinchwad to Swargate, which is elevated till the Agriculture College in Shivaji Nagar and underground after that.
Pune Metro currently operational, 12 km is operational, that is from Monas to Garware and PCMC to Fugiwadi. And for next stretches, basically work is going on in full swing.
The deadline for the completion of 33.2 km route of Phase 1 of the Pune Metro has been extended. One of the major issues owing to this delay are the other infrastructural projects which are on alongside the Maha Metro project, further slowing down the overall process. The delay also results in traffic congestion on roads, causing inconvenience for the Pune residents. As per the report, Maha Metro Rail Corporation Limited, which is implementing the Pune Metro project, now expects to complete the work by March 2023.
Street hawkers of Pune have been occupying stretches of several roads illegally despite being allocated legal hawking zones within city limits. Accidents have become a regular occurrence as pedestrians have to opt to walk on the road since the footpaths are occupied. Taking a stock of the situation, our correspondents Aryaman and Shea report from the ground.
Illegal hawker encroachments have been plaguing Pune city in spite of PMC's efforts to decongest roads and make them more pedestrian friendly. Footpath encroachments have resulted in the death of 48 pedestrians in 2022 itself.
I'm standing here in FC Road, where as you can see around me, there are a lot of people walking on the footpaths. Added to that is the problem of hawkers on the same footpaths. Because of these hawkers, people often have to resort to walking on roads, which often leads to mishaps. Let us talk to some shopkeepers about this issue and see what they feel about it.
हाँ सर, सर कभी आपको मतलब PMC वगैरह ने कुछ निकाला है या ऐसे ऐसा कुछ नहीं आता है कभी कभार जैसे हफ्ता महीना 15
The PMC is rolling out plans to set up hawker zones throughout the city based on each area's demands.
To know more about anti-encroachment and the steps taken against it, let us talk to Mr. Shivan Kamble, who belongs to the anti-encroachment department of the Nagar Road Ward Office. तो कामले जी, आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है? हाँ जी, तो सर ये जो एंटी इंक्रोचमेंट वाले लोग हैं जो आपको हॉकर्स मिलते हैं, उनके खिलाफ आप क्या क्या स्टेप्स लेते हैं?
एक्शन जो इलीगल रहेगा उनके ऊपर हम एक टेम्पो भेजते हैं, गाड़ी बड़ा सा ट्रक भेजते हैं और ट्रक में से सब माल जो भी होता है वो डिपॉजिट कर लेते हैं और वो गोडाउन में जब्त कर लेते हैं.
Many hawkers weren't pleased with the new setup as they complained about the lack of facilities such as water and electricity available at the designated hawker zones. This led to altercations between hawkers and civic officials during anti-encroachment drives in the past.
Where I am standing right now is the legal hawker zone in Viman Nagar, where 12 hawkers constantly pay taxes every month to the Pune Municipal Corporation to stand here legally. Across the road from here is also a place where they are soon going to appoint 84 hawkers to make what is they call a look-alike of chapati, which is very famous in Mumbai. With cameraman Shea Korean, this is Ariman Dhaiya for Voices Pune.
The next story is about the lack of bus stops by the PMPML for its commuters during the harsh weather. The repair work identified by the PMPML for nearly 100 covered shelters of the 300 labelled as in need of immediate maintenance is still incomplete. Here are Anne and Malavika sharing more details on the same.
Buses are the basic and the most used mode of transportation by the people in Pune. Every day, almost 12 lakh people commute by bus through the PMPML. During the blazing sun and heavy downpours, the PMPML passengers don't have any place to take refuge in. Datta, one of the commuters traveling on a daily basis, claimed that
डेली तो हम सुबह आते तो सुबह को यहाँ पे बहुत भीड़ भी रहती है बस में चढ़ने के लिए और यहाँ पे धूप भी बहुत लगती है बारिश वक्त भी ऐसे रुकना पड़ता है यहाँ पे आने जाने का मतलब डेरा मेरी सिटी में यही से मैं डेली बस में जाता हूँ बस में आता हूँ तो ये जितना जल्दी हो सकते अच्छा होगा तो चलेगा.
the majority of the bus stops are in poor condition with broken or improperly maintained roofs, iron bars and benches. Due to this, commuters are forced to stand in open spaces throughout rainy and sunny days. In response to being asked about this issue, Gavane Satish, a PMPML official, said,
PMPML fully understand the difficulties faced by people, and we are in the process of constructing around 250 to 300 bus stops. We are in talks with the PMC for widening the roads for the construction of bus stops.
Seasons vary, but the suffering of the PMPML passengers does not. Bus waiting has turned into a nightmare for commuters from several places due to the lack of funding and failure of tenders. According to PMPML, 300 additional shelters will be provided, causing no inconveniences to the passengers. 87% of the city's bus stops lack sheds. The PMC and the PMPML should cooperate and put an end to the commuters' misery. This is reporter Ann Manoj with camera person Malvika Suresh.
Despite being a smart city and ranked as the 5th most cleanest city in the country, Pune has a huge garbage disposal problem. Garbage dumps have been resulting in diseases and other issues for Punekars, and we have our reporters Anika, Devleena, Ria and Spruha to give us more details.
Plastic waste, kitchen waste, industrial waste, medical waste. These have all become common visuals for Punekars. The city has been victim to severe mismanagement of waste disposal. Heaps of garbage can be seen at several areas across Pune.
I'm standing a few meters away from the beginning of the Mumbai-Pune Expressway, and just under this bridge there is a makeshift dumping ground where garbage is being dumped. There is an extreme unpleasant smell.
According to the Pune Municipal Corporation, waste is segregated at different areas in the city before being processed further. Deccan is one such area. However, even in areas where cleaners work overtime, waste is still lying unattended.
We have a PMC Ghantak trucks or the PMC trucks which are picking up the segregated waste. We ensure that the segregation should happen at four levels. That is wet waste, dry waste, household level, domestic hazardous waste, and also the sanitary waste.
Residents, however, are unhappy with the accumulated garbage as well as being asked to segregate their own waste.
They are throwing garbage anywhere, and they have lots of they want that gila kachra alag dalo, suka kachra alag dalo. It affects a lot to us also because it's dirty, and they don't want that ki dalo or niklo. So they want the plastic due to the plastic it's affecting a lot.
Yeah.
So पानी भी गंदा होता है इसलिए there is lots of dengue.
Aund is one of the prime locations in Pune, but even here garbage has accumulated in multiple areas.
The hawkers here and the food joints here tend to come here and dump their garbage, and as you can see behind me, the residential areas, the people from here have to go through a lot of issues, both related to diseases and unpleasant smell, and despite regular complaints, the issue hasn't been solved.
Currently, to tackle waste from Visarjans, the corporation has announced several steps.
While the PMC has planned campaigns for Ganesh Chaturthi and Gandhi Jayanti, a long-term solution for the waste disposal management is yet to be seen. Punekars are eagerly waiting to see a plan of action in the future. This is Anika with camera person Ria reporting from Shivaji Nagar for SIMC News.
Flowing in Pune's temple town Alandi, the Indrayani river has been a religious attraction for lakhs of devotees. The river water, which is used for carrying out chores, is deteriorating day by day and is posing a greater health hazard for the local residents. Industries in the vicinity have come under fire for releasing waste and contributing to additional degradation of the river stretch. Ritika and Anish report from the Indrayani Ghat.
Indrayani River continues to die a slow death as it currently stands as a cocktail of sewage, solid and chemical waste. The sacred river has been declared injurious to health, but pilgrims taking dip in it, drinking it and using it for chores have exposed them to a greater health hazard. Residents and the official of Alandi Municipal Corporation have alleged that the dumping of industrial waste is further degrading the water quality.
लोकांनी भरपूर ट्रक असं कचरा कपडे घाण भरपूर काढलेली परंतु हे सदा सर्व का असं राहिलंच असं नाही ना पब्लिक प्लेस आहे इथे प्रत्येक वेळेस हानी होणारच.
Despite of the several initiatives taken by the Alandi Municipal Corporation, the locals of the Alandi continue to suffer due to negligence from the tourists as well as the local industrial units. We discussed about the same with an Alandi Municipal Corporation official.
डिटर्जंट, फिनॉल्स किंवा असे काही गोष्टी ज्या आपण क्लिनिंगसाठी वापरतो त्या जर यामध्ये अनट्रीटेड सोडल्या गेल्या तर निश्चितच जलचर प्राणी आणि मानवी आरोग्य इथं आपण बघू शकतो की लोकांमध्ये अशी धारणा आहे की आळंदीला आल्यावर इंद्रायणी नदीमध्ये एकदा तर स्नान केलं पाहिजे.
There is a little ray of hope that necessary precautions would be taken by the Alandi Municipal Corporation to stop the further exploitation of the holy river. This is reporter Ritika Singh, with cameraman Anish Kocharala signing off.
Cars and motorcycles encroaching the footpaths on Balewadi High Street are posing problems to pedestrians. Residents complain that they take great difficulty in their strides when maneuvering around the vehicles that are illegally parked in the area. Shrimoy and Ashika have this report.
Balewadi High Street is one of the city's well-known nightlife locations. Pedestrians, on the other hand, have a different outlook. Several establishments in the vicinity have hired valets, but most places lack client parking or are space constrained. The failed system has led vehicles under no parking zones, impeding pedestrian traffic. Residents voiced about the area's rampant double parking during evening.
यहाँ तो दोनों तरफ गाड़ियाँ लगी होती हैं, हमें दिक्कत महसूस होती है यहाँ चलने में.
Another resident stated that walking with children is tough in the area. Footpaths are no longer used as a walking platform but as a parking spot. The Parihar Chowk Traffic Department also mentioned that even the towing system meant to supervise illegal parking was also not enough to stop people.
तो वहाँ से जो सोसाइटी वाले फ़ोन करते बुलाते बार बार हम जाके वहाँ पर कार्रवाई करते फ़ोन भी नहीं तो जो भी नो पार्किंग गाड़ी खड़ा रहेगा तो फाइन 500 रुपया और उसका टोइंग चार्जेस 286 रुपया.
Despite a towing system in place, Balewadi High Street continues to be difficult for pedestrians to maneuver. The PMC should think of a permanent solution that is convenient for parking. Reporting from Balewadi High Street, this is Shrimoy Roy Chaudhary, camera person Ashika Jain signing off.
After a gap of 2 years, Pune is all set to celebrate Ganesh Utsav on a grand scale. Considering this, a lot of new changes have been adopted by Ganesh Pandals and PMC to avoid traffic and the misuse of electricity. More on the story by our reporters Riddhi and Tapasya.
After 2 years of pandemic, Pune welcomed its beloved Ganpati Bappa with a lot of excitement. This year, for the smooth celebration, the city mandals have introduced the concept of hanging pandals.
यहाँ पे मंडल होता है तो वो जो लेन है तो उन सबको पर्यायी ऑप्शन मतलब अल्टरनेट के लिए पीछे का रूट यूज़ करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट लेन इज़ ऑल्सो दिस मच बिगर ओनली. सो वो पूरा ट्रैफिक को डिस्ट्रप्शन वहाँ पे लोड आ जाता है तो उनको भी एक ऑप्शन हो जाता है. दिस बिकम्स एन ऑल्टरनेटिव. सो ये ब्लॉक ना करते हुए थोड़ा सा स्पेस यूटिलाइज किया है. वी हैव बिल्ट सम स्ट्रॉन्ग स्ट्रक्चर हियर एंड वी हैव picked it. We have elevated this entire mandal.
To avoid electricity theft, PMC directed the mandals to take temporary legal connection provided by the electricity board.
Don't have any provisions for that, but we are offering them connection at a cheaper rate.
What is the rate, sir?
Around, but it is cheaper, around 2-3 rupees per unit.
These provisions have helped avoid traffic jams since day one. Along with this, the lightings have also enhanced the overall look.
The hanging pandals are a new addition to the design which has proved to be very useful. While the traffic problem was an issue before, the traffic movement is very comfortable now, which has made the commute easier for the citizens. This is Tapasya here signing off with camera person Riddhi Oza.
More than 7,800 teachers have enrolled in the newly launched app by Pune Zilla Parishad for teachers to share their teaching material. Nishtha and Preetam reached Nandegaon to see the on-ground implementation of the app.
Pune Zilla Parishad has developed Acharya Vinoba Bhave app that allows teachers to interact and share teaching material and best practices with each other.
We are in front of Zilla Parishad School in Nande village in Pune, and we are here to check the on-ground reality of the Acharya Vinoba Bhave app and how teachers are using it.
सब टीचर्स ने वो ऐप डाउनलोड कर दिया है. अभी वो कैसे अप्लाई करता है उनको पता है.
Mrs. Ratila Thambore, an all-subject teacher for the primary wing, said this application needs some upgradation but is really good for the students.
इस ऐप में जो अलग अलग टीचर्स हैं पूरे महाराष्ट्र से, उनके अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं जो हम देख के खुद इंस्पायर होते हैं और अपने बच्चों के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो ये इफ़ेक्टिव है. और दूसरी बात, इसमें बहुत सारी मतलब जैसे डाइट के टीचर्स हैं, वो लोग हम लोगों को कुछ जो नया चल रहा है उसके बारे में बताते हैं. जो एक्टिविटीज़ होते हैं उसके हम वीडियो फोटोज़ डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, अपलोड कर सकते हैं.
Zilla Parishad schools across Pune have welcomed the app with full vigor and expect more such advancements in the future. This is Nishtha with camera person Preetam Biswas reporting for SIMC Voices.
The indigenous sport of India, Kho Kho, is getting franchise recognition through the Ultimate Kho Kho League, which is aimed at gaining pan-Indian popularity and global traction. The league is first of its kind, being conducted in Balewadi Stadium of Pune, Maharashtra. Mrinalini and Nitin report.
The first ever franchise Kho Kho League was hosted in Pune, Maharashtra from August 14 to September 4. It was an initiative to promote indigenous homegrown sports of India throughout the country and even internationally. Ultimate Kho Kho aimed to elevate the standards of the sport as well as present opportunities for the youth.
मैं तो उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट का बहुत शुक्रगुजार रहूँगा कि उन्होंने एक विशुद्ध जो प्योर इंडिजीनियस गेम है उसको आगे बढ़ाने में जो हेल्प की है. और इसके साथ साथ जो उड़ीसा के जो ट्राइबल एरिया के जो बच्चे हैं वो इस गेम में ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं और उनको भी ऊपर उठने में और आगे बढ़ने में हेल्प करेगा.
Odisha Jagannath came out on top by bagging the inaugural Ultimate Kho Kho title after defeating Telugu Yodhas in a nail-biting finale with a score of 46-45. We sat down with their captain Milind Shavrekar before their final.
और सोनी टीवी वाले ने बोला गेम बहुत चल रहा है तो इसका फ़ायदा मतलब फ्यूचर में बहुत होने वाला है और आने वाले यंगस्टर्स को मतलब बहुत फ़ायदा होने वाला है इस गेम से. और पुणे में मतलब ये खो खो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपने महाराष्ट्र में खेला जाता है, मतलब अपना सॉइल गेम है यहाँ का महाराष्ट्र का.
With the changing landscape of indigenous sports, India has unlocked a huge potential through these big money franchisee leagues. The players and coaches believe that this new avatar, Ultimate Kho Kho, will bring boundless opportunities. This is Mrinalini reporting from Balewadi Stadium with camera person Nitin for SIMC Voices.
Carrying the same thrill and nostalgia of the massive hit Game of Thrones, its prequel, House of Dragon, premiered on 21st August. Given the raging fanfare around GOT, the excitement around its prequel is equally huge. 2 episodes in, the internet is abuzz with reviews and fan theories. Hardik and Tanay take the pulse of the students of the SIU Lavli campus.
House of the Dragon premiered on 21 August, and the hype of the show has been immense, especially among the GOT fans. Let's go around at the Symbiosis campus and see what people think about this new show.
I did not expect the House of Dragons to be at par with Game of Thrones, and it's a very visually appealing show, so I really like it and love the storyline.
In GOT, they said that House of Targaryen was dead, so when actually they were showing it in House of Dragons about the Targaryen, it was a very nostalgic feel.
I think the first episode for me was really slow. I think they are taking time to set up the whole environment and bring everybody into the
whole House of Dragons zone. Not expecting a lot right now, but really excited to see what the show has to offer.
I think that I loved the theme song. It got me really excited. The theme song that it reminded, like it is Game of Thrones, so it was too much nostalgia.
So I think before the Game of Thrones, the season finale also happened. I was actually looking forward to House of Dragons, and then how the show ended, it made me wait more to see how good. And I was really hoping that this is supposed to be really good, because Game of Thrones ended really badly and this was the only way they could redeem themselves.
I was very excited for House of the Dragon because I've been an ardent fan of Game of Thrones. So what I like about the show is how it's building up, especially now that 3 episodes are out and the 3rd episode was the best one that I've seen. So I'm really excited.
To sum it up, people have a lot of nostalgia and expectation from this new show. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. This is me, Hardik Bhardwaj, with cameraman Tane Dhumal, signing off.
That's all for this edition of SIMC Voices. I'm your news host Jasnoor Kaur with
Apurva Adhikari signing off.